Welcome back to Breathtaking and our final An Apple for the Teacher podcast, which moves us far away from the innocence of childhood while remaining, in a manner of speaking, in the world of education. We begin with the musical gem that, among today's offerings, most closely resembles classroom education. With thanks to my friend Larry Doxlager for recommending it, here is French Lesson, with music by Roger Edens and lyrics by Betty Comden and Adolph Green from the 1947 movie musical Good News. French Lesson is performed by Peter Lawford, who plays a college football star who wants to learn French in order to impress a fellow student, and June Allison, who plays a part-time campus librarian who conveniently knows French. Please click on link number 1 below to access it, and I'll be here when you get back. Next up is The Best of All Possible Worlds from the 1956 Broadway musical Candide, with music by Leonard Bernstein and lyrics by more people than you can shake a fist at. They include the poet Richard Wilbur as the primary lyricist, as well as John Latouche, Dorothy Parker, Lillian Hellman, Stephen Sondheim, John Mosseri, John Wells, and Leonard Bernstein himself. I'm particularly excited about the performance I'll be sharing with you today for 2 reasons. First, Leonard Bernstein himself is conducting this live performance. And second, the role of Dr. Pangloss is played by Adolph Green, the wonderful lyricist who co-wrote the lyrics to our previous musical offering, French Lesson. Also featured are Jerry Hadley as Candide, June Anderson as Cunegonde, Kurt Ullman as Maximilian, and Della Jones as Paquette. Based on Voltaire's 1759 novella of the same name, Candide tells the story of a young man named Candide who, at the show's outset, is living an idyllic life, indoctrinated with absurd optimism by his mentor, Dr. Pangloss. To access this fabulous performance of The Best of All Possible Worlds, please click on link number 2 below and come back for 3 additional magnificent Broadway gems. We now move far, far away from any semblance of classroom education. To begin, here is the charming Happy to Make Your Acquaintance from another 1956 Broadway musical, The Most Happy Fella, which, like Candide, has been described as an opera made for Broadway. With music and lyrics by Frank Lesser, it tells the story of Tony Esposito, an older Italian immigrant living in the Napa Valley, and Rosabella, a young waitress from San Francisco with whom he has been corresponding, and who agrees to marry Tony partly because of the photo of Tony's foreman that Tony has mailed her, claiming that it is a photo of himself. Without further ado, please click on link number 3 below to hear Robert Weedy and Joe Sullivan performing Happy to Make Your Acquaintance. And now, with our last 2 musical offerings, we move far, far away from any semblance of innocence. Here is It's a Simple Little System from yet another 1956 Broadway musical, Bells Are Ringing, with music by Julie Stein and lyrics by Betty Comden and Adolph Green. In the song, the rich ne'er-do-well boyfriend of a telephone answering service's owner reveals to a group of gangsters how to use the answering service as a front for a gambling operation by pretending to be record sellers and using composers and their symphonies as codes, enabling people to place horse race bets. For example, if someone orders 100 records of Beethoven's Fourth Symphony, it means he is betting $100 on horse number 4 at Belmont Park Racetrack. Without further ado, please click on link number 4 below to hear Eddie Lawrence performing It's a Simple Little System. When you return, I'll fill you in on how this shady character got his comeuppance. Under the category of No Bad Deed Goes Unpunished, I thought you'd like to know that later in Bells Are Ringing, a horse race gambler places a telephone order for records of Beethoven's 10th Symphony, and a young music nerd working at the answering service changes the order to records of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony because he figures there must have been a mistake since Beethoven only wrote 9 symphonies. Today's podcast concludes with Words, Words, Words from the short-lived 1964 Broadway musical Bajour, with words and music by Walter Marks. In this delightful duet, performed by Nancy Dussault and the irrepressible Herschel Bernardi, an anthropology doctoral student researching the customs of a tribe of nomadic gypsies, gives a word association test to the king of a gypsy tribe to help her understand gypsy psychology. To hear Words, 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 please click on link number 5 below and then come back for 2 important announcements. I do hope you enjoyed all 3 of our podcasts in honor of National Teacher Appreciation Week. Before signing off, I have 2 announcements to share with you. Announcement number 1. With Father's Day taking place on June 20th, I am turning to you for recommendations of father-related songs to feature here on Breathtaking. As always, just a reminder that it's not enough for a song to be father-related. It has to be breathtaking as well. Please email your suggestions to me at breathtaking.podcast@gmail.com. Announcement number 2. I'll be taking a break between now and June 20th in order to research new ideas for Breathtaking. So, in addition to father-related recommendations, I invite you to email me your ideas for new themes that you'd like me to present. Once again, my email address is breathtaking.podcast@gmail.com. So, until June 20th, I'm signing off for now with a song in my heart.